If you've ever been to Alexandria Bay, you've probably heard the hum of a boat engine in the morning, felt the cool mist roll off the St. Lawrence River, and seen the majestic silhouette of Bolt Castle rising like a dream over Hart Island. But tucked away, just a short stroll from the docks, is a little lane most visitors, well, they never think twice about. Crooked Street. It's not the busiest road in town. It's not lined with souvenir shops or neon signs. But for over a century, whispers have curled through the bay about how it got its name. And like the bends in the narrow street, the truth isn't exactly straight. Welcome back, everybody, to another Street Sign Storytime. We spent the weekend in Alexandria Bay for a work event, and boy, did we see some Alexandria Bay. It was Pirates Weekend. We saw some amazing music. We saw a Stevie Mac, a Fleetwood Mac cover band. We saw Mike Powell and the Echo Garden. Pretty sure I said that wrong. If I said it wrong, I do apologize. Amazing. Check them out as well. And Mother cover, and there was just bands and music and pirates everywhere. I was in heaven. And maybe we stumbled, maybe we walked, maybe we staggered, maybe it was a jog, maybe it was just a normal stroll. But Crooked Street was a street that stuck out with me. So I said, hey, we got to talk about it. And, well, without further ado, let's jump into it. We're going to travel back to the late 1800s when Alexandria Bay was in its prime. Wealthy families from New York City, Philadelphia, and beyond would arrive by steamer, stepping off the docks in their finest summer attire. The grand Thousand Islands House hotel buzzed with chatter while fishermen hauled in the day's catch along the piers. On the water, construction of Bolt Castle was underway. George Bolt's love letter to his wife, Louise. The castle's tower slowly rose over Hart Island, a beacon of romance in an age when the St. Lawrence seemed limitless with opportunity. But beneath all that elegance and progress was a shadowy undercurrent. The St. Lawrence was a smuggler's paradise, hundreds of islands, inlets, and covers to hide in, and no smuggler was more notorious than Captain Gideon Crook McAllister, the pirate of the Thousand Islands. Some people might have referred him to, because Crook McAllister, he wasn't the kind of pirate you see at Pirates Weekend, waving foam swords and smiling for photos. He was a man of cunning routes, a quick escape artist. He smuggled Canadian whiskey, fine jewelry, and sometimes even passengers. Maybe sometimes passengers who didn't want to be found. Locals said his sloop, the Black Lantern, could glide through the thickest fog without hitting a shoal. And when Crook came to Alexandria Bay, he never docked where people could see. Instead, he slipped into a hidden inlet and unloaded the cargo onto a narrow dirt path that twisted up from the shoreline. That path would one day become Crooked Street. But there was one night when everything changed, and that night was a summer evening in 1898. Crook made his boldest move yet. A wealthy guest at the Thousand Islands house had been flashing a gold pocket watch around the lobby, an heirloom said to have belonged to a Civil War general. Crook waited until a storm rolled in, then crept along the hotel's rear service docks, snatched the watch from the man's luggage, and vanished into the rain. But Crook didn't know he'd been spotted. A stonemason working on Bolt Castle, one of the few laborers still in the bay that night, saw the dim glow of a lantern bouncing along the shore and alerted the sheriff. Within minutes, lawmen were combing the waterfront, chasing the flicker of that lantern through backyards and gardens, slipping on wet cobblestones. Crook darted through the dark, doubling back, taking sudden turns to throw them off. The last place they saw him, that winding little lane. And by the time they reached the end, was gone. His boat was untied, drifting silently into the fog. The sheriff muttered, "That pass is crooked as the man himself." The nickname stuck. Locals began calling it Crook Street, and when maps were redrawn decades later, well, that disappeared. The apostrophe did. And, well, now it's just Crooked Street. Even now, over 100 years later, some say Crook McAllister never truly left. During Pirates Weekend, when the bay is alive with the boom of cannons and the laughter of costume martyrs, there are always a few who swear they've seen a lone lantern weaving its way down Crooked Street toward the river. Follow it, they say, and you'll feel the road twist beneath your feet, each bend pulling you deeper toward the water until you find yourself staring at the empty shoreline, wondering if you just chased the ghost of the Bay's most elusive pirate. And there you have it. Another episode of Street Sign Storytime. We'll do it all over again next week. Take care, everybody.